Good morning, students. I am here with part 2 of chapter 6 New Questions and Ideas. In this podcast, we will learn about the Upanishad and Jainism. Upanishad literally means approaching and sitting near, and the text contains conversation between teachers and students. Often, ideas were presented through simple dialogues. Around the time that the Buddha was preaching, and perhaps a little earlier, other thinkers also tried to find answers to difficult questions. Some of them wanted to know about life after death. Others wanted to know why sacrifices should be performed. Many of these thinkers felt that there was something permanent in the universe that would last even after death. They described this as the Atman or the individual soul and the Brahman or the universal soul. They believed that ultimately both the Atman and the Brahman were one. Most Upanishadic thinkers were men, especially Brahmins and Rajas. Occasionally, there is mention of women thinkers such as Gargi, who was famous for her learning and participated in debates held in royal courts. Poor people rarely took part in these discussions. One famous exemption was Satyakama Jabala, who was named after his mother, the slave woman Jabali. He had a deep desire to learn about reality and was accepted as a student by a Brahmin teacher named Gautama and became one of the best known thinkers of the time. Many of the ideas of the Upanishads were later developed by the famous thinker Shankaracharya. Dear students, the next subtopic is Jainism. Along with Hinduism and Buddhism, Jainism is one of the three most ancient Indian religious traditions still in existence and an integral part of South Asian religious belief and practice. Jainism is an ancient religion from India that teaches that the way to liberation and bliss is to live lives of harmlessness and renunciation. The essence of Jainism is concern for the welfare of every being in the universe and for the health of the universe itself. The Vardhamana Mahavira also spread his message around this time, that is 2500 years ago. He was a Kshatriya prince of the Lichavis, a group that was part of the Vaji Sangha. At the age of 30, he left home and went to live in a forest. For 12 years, he led a hard and lonely life, at the end of which he attained enlightenment. He taught a simple doctrine. Men and women who wish to know the truth must leave their homes. They must follow very strictly the rules of ahimsa, which means not hurting or killing living beings, all beings, said Mahavira. Long to live. To all things, life is dear. Ordinary people could understand the teachings of Mahavira and his followers because they used Prakrit. There were several forms of Prakrit used in different parts of the country. The word Jaina comes from the term Jinnah. They had to lead very simple lives, begging for food. They had to be absolutely honest and were specially asked not to steal. Also, they had to observe celibacy, and men had to give everything, including their clothes. It was very difficult for men and women to follow these strict rules. Nevertheless, thousands left their homes to learn and teach this new way of life. Many more remained and supported, who became monks and nuns, providing them with food. Jainism was supported mainly by traders, but farmers who had to kill insects to protect their crops found it more difficult to follow the rules. Over hundreds of years, Jainism spread to different parts of North India and to Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. The teachings of Mahavira and his followers were transmitted orally for several centuries.